What's up, fam? It's your boy Legend, and I am back with another video. You already know what this is just by looking at the thumbnail. What if Naruto was the strongest Soul Reaper part 10? If you guys like this video, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe while you at it. The like goal for this video was going to be 6 likes, but if we could get 10, that would be really nice. But without further ado, let's just get into this intro so we can start this What If. Ichigo Kurosaki glared at the boy standing calmly across from him, the tension between them thick enough to snap. The faint hum of spiritual energy danced in the air around them, unseen by normal humans, but electrifying to those attuned to the spirit world. Across from him stood Uryu Ishida. He was composed, his school uniform ruffled only slightly by the breeze. His rectangular glasses glinted beneath the sunlight as he adjusted them with a hand, the other already holding something small and white in his palm. "You've been following me," Ishida accused, his voice low, more confused than angry. "You're reckless and predictable." "Do you know what this is, Ichigo Kurosaki?" Ichigo looked at the white object in Ishida's hand. "No. Should I?" Ishida held the small cubed object up. "This is hollow bait. What it does is attract hollows to the surrounding area. All I would have to do is crush it in my hand." Ichigo narrowed his eyes, a hint of worry flickering in them. "Why do you even have something like that?" Ishida looked down at the substitute Soul Reaper. "Because I have a challenge for you. On which one of us is better? You, a Soul Reaper, or me, a Quincy? Whoever can kill the most hollows until they run out wins." Ichigo shook his head. "That's stupid. I'm not doing that." Ishida tightened his grip on the bait. "Why? Are you scared you won't be able to protect the surrounding people? Well, you don't have to worry, because I will kill every hollow before anyone gets hurt." Before Ichigo could ask what that meant, Ishida crushed the object in his hand, a jagged piece of the hollow bait. The moment it cracked, a dark ripple pulsed through the air, and Ichigo's eyes widened as spiritual pressure spiked in every direction. "You idiot!" Ichigo shouted, his form shifting instantly into his Soul Reaper state, his Shihakusho fluttering around him as he turned sharply, prepared to sprint toward the incoming danger. "You just painted a target on every person in the town!" He launched into a flash step, but froze when Ishida's voice calmly called after him. "Remember, Ichigo," Ishida said without a trace of regret. "Hollows tend to go after those with high spiritual energy first." Ichigo's body jerked to a halt, the words hitting him like a physical blow. A cold dread sank into his chest. Karin, Yuzu, his sisters, they had spiritual energy just enough to be noticed, just enough to be in danger. Without another word, Ichigo vanished, in a blur, heading straight for their schools. Ishida exhaled slowly, watching him go. "How selfish of you, Kurosaki," he murmured. "Only thinking of your family, when there are many others with high spiritual potential across this town." He lifted his arm and conjured his Quincy bow, the brilliant blue energy materializing instantly. With mechanical precision, he drew back the shimmering string and loosed a spirit arrow into the sky. A hollow shriek pierced the air as the arrow struck its mast mid-dive, disintegrating the creature into scattered dust. "I'll protect them all. You can keep playing the hero, but I'll be the one who keeps Karakura safe." Scene change. Soul Society. The white stone walls of Squad 4's barracks echoed with stillness. Deep within the medical division, A secured holding chamber stood quiet, except for the subtle, almost imperceptible hum of restrained spiritual energy. Naruto Uzumaki stood outside the reinforced cell, arms folded across his chest, his expression unreadable but tinged with clear disappointment. He was staring through the transparent barrier at the girl seated on the bench inside, Momo Hinamori. She sat curled in on herself, legs drawn up, her eyes red from crying but still defiant in their own way. Her hands were bandaged, remnants of how tightly she had gripped her Zanpakuto when she attacked Captain Hitsugaya the night before. Naruto said nothing for a moment. Then, quietly, his voice full of tempered frustration, he spoke. "You really think Captain Aizen's dead, and that Hitsugaya killed him?" Momo didn't respond. She didn't even lift her gaze. And Naruto's eyes, once full of warmth, now narrowed slightly. "Unbelievable," he muttered. Naruto went to stand up and leave, but that was when Momo decided to finally speak. "I know for a fact that Hitsugaya killed Captain Aizen. I will never forgive him for what he did." Naruto turned and looked at the distressed girl in the cell. She said the words with so much venom. Naruto didn't know what kind of hold Aizen had on Momo, but it was strong if the girl was acting like this. He knew for a fact that Aizen wasn't dead, but he couldn't just tell her that. He, Unohana, Byakuya, and Soifan were trying to figure out what Aizen was up to. Naruto sat down. "What makes you think that Captain Hitsugaya killed Aizen? Why are you so sure of it?" Momo looked up at the third seat of Squad 1. "Because Captain Aizen left behind a letter that said Hitsugaya was up to something shady. In the letter, he said that he was going to confront him about it. But then the next day, we all found him dead." For a second, Naruto said nothing. He was trying to wrap his mind around what he had just heard. Why would Aizen do that? Hell, why do any of this? Naruto walked away from Momo's holding cell in silence, his sandals echoing softly down the polished halls of Squad 4. The conversation still clung to him like fog. Her voice, the conviction in it, the desperation. She truly believes Aizen is dead, and that Hitsugaya killed him. It made his skin crawl, not because she was lying, but because she wasn't. She believed it with everything she had, and that made it all the more dangerous. He needed a breather, a moment away from the weight of betrayal, madness, and war. When he finally stepped into Unohana's office, it was like the air changed. The scent of medicinal herbs lingered faintly, and the warm, steady glow of lamplight softened the edges of the cold stone walls. She sat behind her desk, elegant and calm as ever, a single strand of dark hair loose from her braid. Unohana glanced up at him without pause in her writing, her feather pen dancing across the paper in clean strokes. Naruto said nothing. Instead, he walked around her desk and gently lowered himself into her lap. The motion was so casual, so familiar, that Unohana didn't even blink, though her brow arched slightly in amusement. Naruto-kun," she murmured, voice like velvet. "Do you not think we should change positions?" He let out a soft sigh and leaned back against her chest, folding his arms. "No, I'm staying right here. This is helping me not think about what I just heard." Her pen stopped mid-stroke. She placed it down with careful grace and let her arms encircle his waist loosely, pulling him a little closer. "And what did Hinamori tell you?" she asked gently. Naruto hesitated, staring at the far wall. "She said Aizen left her a letter before his death. He said he suspected Hitsugaya of planning something behind the scenes, that he was going to confront him. Then, the next day, Aizen turns up dead, pinned to the wall with his own sword. Unohana's fingers unconsciously tightened around his middle. That doesn't make sense. Why leave a letter? Why not speak to Head Captain Yamamoto directly? Exactly, Naruto muttered. Nothing adds up. It feels like a setup. But she believes it completely. She's blinded by it. He leaned back further into her, head resting on her collarbone, her warmth grounding him. Her heartbeat was calm, measured, reliable. I just wish we knew what Aizen's true plan was, he said, voice low. Unohana leaned forward slightly, her lips close to his ear. Well, she whispered, with a teasing lilt. We both know what I'm planning. Before Naruto could act, her lips brushed against the side of his neck, a gentle, lingering kiss, not lustful, but affectionate, comforting, the kind of intimacy they shared in moments like these. Naruto smiled faintly, his breath escaping in a quiet laugh. I needed that, he said. I know, Unohana replied, her voice a little warmer now. That's why you came here. Unohana gently bit Naruto's neck as she kissed him again and began to suck on his flesh. Naruto shivered as she did this. Retsu, you're playing with fire. Naruto grabbed her hands and Unohana grinned. You say I'm playing with fire, but I'm more than positive I can handle you. Naruto knew that it was a challenge, but he wasn't going to try and rush to prove her wrong. Unohana then began to bite Naruto's ear as she slipped her hands into the pants of his shahakusho. She wrapped her hands around his blank, and she slowly began to blank his blank as he let loose a grin that completely shattered the sweet and innocent look, as if it were a facade. So this is what you've been keeping from me for 8 years. Let's hope you actually know how to use this tool of yours. Naruto let loose a shudder that Unohana could feel against her. This was a complete night and day difference from how she usually acts. And the way her voice changed, it was sharp and chilling, but at the same time hot as hell. Unohana squeezed Naruto's blank, getting a groan from him. Are you just going to sit here acting helpless while I make you blank, or are you actually going to do something? Hearing this, Naruto got his senses back as he grabbed Unohana by the wrist, getting her to stop blanking him through his blank. She raised an eyebrow, and then Naruto stood before Unohana could speak. Naruto picked her up and placed her on her desk. She then found his lips on hers, along with his hands on her throat, squeezing a bit hard, but still gentle enough so that she could breathe. Unohana reached down as she pulled his blank from his blank and started to blank him, as she let out a gasp, a bit from Naruto choking her. Someone likes it rough. Unohana was barely able to speak due to Naruto choking and kissing her. She then bit down on his bottom lip, and as she pulled him closer with her other hand, Naruto released her throat as he grabbed the top of her shahakusho and ripped it off of her as it fell around her hips. Alright, fam. We both know what's going to happen here, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to skip to the end after this lemon, and I'm going to read that. Time skip, 2 hours later. Naruto lay underneath Unohana, eyes open but pupilless, as Unohana put yet another hickey on his neck and separated her hips from his. As Naruto's blank was removed from her blank, an abundance of his blank flowed out of her. Oh, you're unresponsive again. Unohana placed her hand over Naruto's heart and pushed some of her spiritual energy into him, bringing him back to life. As he shot up slightly with a gasp of air, Unohana pushed him back down gently as she laid down next to him. Welcome back to the living, Naru-kun. But guys, I'm going to end it right here. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe while you at it. Remember, the like goal for the video was going to be 6 likes. But like I said, 10 likes would be great. And also, I have a dentist appointment coming up. So, I may or may not be able to upload because I'm getting teeth pulled. And we all know how that feels. But without further ado, I'm out. And I will see you guys in the next one. Stay blessed, y'all.